All right, we're back for episode 16 of the Idiot Circle. I'm Mike.
I'm Fred.
I'm Rob.
Okay, and before we get too far into it, people have pointed out that we've never really said this, the correct thing to do for our YouTube videos. But we want you to like our videos if you like them, or if you dislike them. Hey, we're all about that too. It's your vote. We don't care if you like or dislike. Subscribe to our channel. And also there's a bell icon to get notified. So if you do subscribe, you can get notifications when we post new stuff. We post obviously the links on Facebook, and we add the video to YouTube. But if you subscribe and turn on the notifications, you'll get notified. We try to do them we've been doing them every Wednesday. So every Wednesday evening. I don't think I've done any on Thursday morning. I think I've gotten them all up during the night.
I think so.
I try to be diligent about that. It's probably the only thing in my life I'm diligent about is posting these damn videos. All right. So we were just chatting a second ago, and we said, you know what? Let's talk about this topic, because we got all fired up about this. And Fred, why don't you give us the topic? Actually, it came from Ruth, you said?
Yep, from our producer, Ruth. Ruth, you're the best.
Producer Ruth.
Ruth came up with a question stating, what phrase or what word that people say all the time that you absolutely hate, or makes your skin crawl, or it's almost like scratching the nails on the chalkboard.
So this could, yeah. So this could be they use it incorrectly.
Muskrat.
Yes.
Hey, we're going after the Algonac market. Come on. So they use it incorrectly, or it's just a word that you can't stand. So right. Okay. So
even a phrase. Right now.
Yeah. Kick us off, Fred. Give us one.
Okay.
Like, let's do a round table. Like, say a word. Each one of us will go in order. Fred, Mike, and myself. And it's like a game. You got to come up with a word that everybody says a little bit different or wrong. See how many we can get.
Okay.
Fred,
I like that.
Cool. Swiss Army knife. Hey, this guy is a Swiss Army knife. No, he's not. Shut up.
So that would be like a reference to a utility infielder. They would be a Swiss Army knife.
Or a defensive player that can play multiple positions. He's a Swiss Army knife. Shut up. Who came up with that phrase? Whoever came up with that phrase, I should punch him right in the balls.
All right. I get it.
What do you got, Mike?
When people say I could care less, you're supposed to say I couldn't care less, meaning, I could give a shit, but they say I could care less. Well, then why the fuck you telling me about it? If you could care less, then that's not you have to be at the bottom of the care totem pole, right? It's I couldn't care less. So I'm at the very bottom, don't give a shit. So I hate that. I could care less. No. So I couldn't care less.
Okay, so I'm gonna, instead of phrase, I'm gonna do a word.
Okay.
And I just referenced it before the show. Wash. People saying wash instead of wash.
Yeah.
Use guys. Mike, ready?
Yeah, that's annoying.
Immediately, if I'm at a restaurant and they say, "Oh, what can I get for yous?" or "use guys," immediately knocking at least $2 off their tip. Drives me absolutely fucking
so
berserk.
Basically you're leaving them no money at all, because that's about what you tip.
Yeah. I'll give you a tip. Bend over.
Oh, I give you a tip. Don't eat yellow snow.
Yes. Yeah, nice. Thanks, Frank Zappa. All right, so this isn't a word that people use wrong or pronounce incorrectly. It's just a word that's my least favorite word in the entire English language, and my whole family knows this, and they fucking bring it up all the time just to piss me off. It's the word moist. I fucking hate the word moist, and they bring it up all the time.
Mike, when you go to Texas and you want the fatty brisket, they call it moist.
I know, it drives me fucking nuts. I'd say, give me the stuff with the fat in it. don't be this moist bullshit.
Give me the Rosie O'Donnell version of the brisket.
It's
Yeah.
funny because
Oh.
years ago, a guy that I worked with, he forwarded a University of Michigan study about words in the English language that people dislike the most. And guess what was number one? Moist.
Liberal?
No, yeah, moist. That wouldn't be a University of Michigan study. They would discount that one. But the word moist is the most hated word in the English language. So
Really?
I
Not
felt,
the C word? Not the
No,
C word.
no, I felt it. I felt vindicated that it wasn't just, I'm not alone. People hate it. So,
You're not on an island by yourself there, Michael.
okay, cool.
I don't mind the word, really, to tell you the truth. I know, like, I think it started with more women. having
Taylor
a problem.
Taylor hates it. She hears it, she's like, oh, like she
Yeah.
wants to throw up.
Well,
Yeah. Well, can I pile on another one, or is it
sure,
your
go
turn?
ahead.
Slacks.
It's your show.
Slacks.
Slacks.
Slacks, like
For pants?
Yeah, like dress pants. Slacks. Fucking hate it.
Who says that?
People still, the fucking boomers
I've
say
never
it.
heard anybody say that in the last 20 years.
Yes.
Who says slacks?
Older people, they say slacks. They do.
Yes.
Older than us, they say slacks.
Get out.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
Yep. You don't know any old people, I guess, Rob.
I live in Florida.
You
What do
live in
not
Florida. I
say?
mean, you're surrounded by it.
You would think I would hear
Nobody,
that all
they
the
should be saying
time.
slacks every fucking 10 minutes down there in
Right.
Florida. All right, your turn, Rob.
All right. So, I lived in the South for about 17 years. I'm back in the South.
I'm sorry.
They do say when they're getting ready to do something, I'm fixing.
Fixing.
I'm fixing to do this. I'm fixing to do that.
Yeah. Or they, I think they also say finna now instead of fixing. Finna. I'm fixing to, they say finna.
Really?
Yeah. People say, I've
Never
heard
that
like,
before.
yeah, I've heard athletes say finna. It's instead of fixing to or fixing to, they say finna. Yeah. They mean the same thing. But anyway,
All right.
yeah,
I hate
fixing to. Okay, all right. Fixing to. You're fixing to hate it. All right, well.
I'm fixing and I'm wrecking. That's their two things, and there's a distinction in the South how that works out. If you say fixing in the wrong context when you should have meant wrecking, they'll call you out on it.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to use those in the wrong context, isn't it? I reckon is like, I suppose, and fixing to means I'm going to do something.
Absolutely. See, you're a redneck. You get it.
Yeah, I get it.
He's got a farmer's tan.
Yeah, I probably do, actually. I've been out.
Yeah,
in
you
the
put a
sun
straw hat on, you look like one of the Amish.
Yeah, exactly. What is the Amish? Was it Amish Mafia or something? Remember that show?
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, Fred doesn't watch reality.
Oh, that's right. My bad. I forgot.
Fred doesn't watch
My bad.
reality
I
TV.
forgot.
Fred, don't be acknowledging. Oh, yeah, I watch that all the time. You can't make the statement. I don't watch reality TV, and every one of these damn shows.
He does.
Well, I flip the channels and it says it on the program guide.
Yep.
I've never seen one episode of whatever
Amish Mafia.
Amish Mafia. Oh my God!
You know what you're
It's like
missing?
it's almost like an oxymoron.
Hey, you know what you're missing? Those guys are gangsta as fuck.
I bet.
What are they doing? Like stealing each other's cows and horses?
Hey,
Like,
man, they take wheels off the wagons and shit. It's nuts. I don't know. I never watched a fucking show.
Yeah. Okay.
You're up, Fred. Yeah.
Word that absolutely drives me nuts. Whatever.
Yeah.
It starts fights.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I got one after you, Mike. That is totally a chick saying, and I just can't stand it.
Well, I got one to follow up Fred's. It's very similar to whatever is. Why are you mad? Why are you mad?
I'm fine.
Has anybody ever come back with the response to why are you mad? Calm, cool, collected, and this is exactly why I'm mad. No, it gets worse. Why are you mad?
So it elevates.
It elevates. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What if somebody says that to you? Why are you mad? What's the first thing you get mad, right?
I usually just say,
well, you at least get heavily defensive.
Because I'm fucking mad.
I'm the type of person, Mike, the weirdest shit makes me mad. Like stuff that normally makes other people mad, I don't get mad about. It's weird shit that makes me mad. It's weird. I don't know. I mean, like, you could call me a name. Someone could say, Rob, they said this about you, this. I don't get mad at that, but I get mad at like the weirdest shit. I don't know why.
Yeah, give us an example.
I don't know. Like, I'm more of like, I get mad when I go out places and I don't get good service. I get mad when I'm on the phone with.
You're mad every day then.
With a company and like their ineptness. I get mad. I really get upset, frustrated, and mad because of people that are stupid and they don't know what they're doing. That's where I get mad.
So
if you
basically,
do a
when
personal
you
attack at me, Frank can attest to this. If you do a personal attack to me, I'm the person who gets over things like that really quick. I don't really care about that. I might get mad for a second, and then I'm done with it. It's like where I get my most hot head is driving with road rage, and when I go somewhere and people are just fucking stupid.
Okay.
or when Rob's on the road and he comes home and the house is completely destroyed and not picked up.
Well, it's just me now, so it's always the way I left it. So that I don't get mad at.
He gets mad at himself. He looks at the mirror. You motherfucker, not cleaning
Yeah.
up. Okay,
son
my
of a
turn.
bitch.
Here's my word. Hot mess.
Yeah, that's overused. That's so
There- oh, yeah.
overused.
It is.
I'm a hot
And you
mess.
could even add to that one dumpster fire. Hot mess,
Dumpster fire.
dumpsters.
Oh
Yep.
God.
We need a
Yeah.
new phrase. You're right. It's overused. It's yeah. It's time to retire that phrase. Hot mess.
And I feel like a
dumpster
lot
fire.
of women describe other women that way.
Oh yeah, she's just a hot mess.
Yeah, that's a dumpster fire, a hot mess.
Or they say it about, a lot of them say it about themselves. I'm a hot mess. Like I don't know. Yeah, it's just used too much. No question. I agree. Nails on a chalkboard.
Do you think like Britney Spears ever called herself a hot mess though?
Well, no, she'd have to be self-aware that she is actually a hot
Because
mess.
she
Yes.
is like the epitome of hot mess, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Epitome of suck to go down. As,
Yeah, the epitome of suck. Last word.
Oh, this is it. We got
Yep.
one more. Okay.
This is anyone that says Illinois when it's Illinois. Folks, I repeat, I have friends that are teachers.
You're
That
not
say-
going to call him out, huh?
Nope. He'll know
Kevin,
who
if you're ever listening,
he or
to this,
she
he's
will know
talking
who it
about
is.
you.
You're not going to call Kevin out, huh?
Yeah, I am not going to call Kevin Mon out for saying Illinois. Oh, I just did. Can I take that back?
That's all right. He won't watch it anyway.
Yeah, right. First of all, Illinois. The S is silent like the P in swimming. Let's get that through our
Exactly.
thick heads.
Well, it's like
it drives-
Des Moines,
Yeah,
or
yeah, oh,
Des Moines.
yeah,
it's like
Des Moines.
it's like Kmart's and Myers. It's Meyer and it's Kmart.
Yeah, you're right about that. You're right. You go, Rob, because I'm still thinking. I'm reeling from
This one is
your
going to be
comment.
on the nose of the typical culture, but I really hate when they do it. They're saying ass, and they say axe.
X. Oh my god.
Well, we know who says that.
But I
Oh
mean,
my
it's
God.
just so.
A lot of
how
people
can you
say
not
it.
get that? How can you not get that correct?
Oh,
It's
my
not
uncle,
that hard.
my uncle Bill would do his
Ass.
voice. Axe me, and I know. Axe me.
I just don't get
I
that.
know.
though.
Well,
It's
what about so we should talk about different parts of the country, words that people use that, or they pronounce them differently, like route and route, or like we were talking about before, roof and roof.
Yeah, roof and rough.
Yeah, can we just use it
one
correctly?
says pop, one says soda.
Yeah,
So when I moved
everybody
to
knows it's pop. I mean, come
So
on.
when I moved to California, everybody was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Because they'd come over to the house and I'd say, "You want a pap?"
You want a
They'd be like-
pop? What are you from Boston? My
They'd be
cousin
like-
from Boston.
They'd be like,
Yeah.
"What?" Because they call it soda. So then
Yeah.
I started calling it soda. Then I moved back to Michigan And I'm saying soda, and a lot of people, I go to the restaurant and I'd say, what kind of soda do you have? They'd be like,
Yeah.
club soda. You know?
Yeah. I bet you'd like to go jerk a soda, wouldn't you?
Yeah, jerk yourself a soda.
I got no
Sometimes you
more.
got to be such an ass, Mike.
Yeah, I know. It's a Ward trait, honestly. It's in my upbringing.
Well,
So.
irregardless.
Before Mike
Irregardless.
Irregardless. Before Mike does his word as he's thinking of it, I just want all our listeners to know, all three of you, that we're in company of royalty with Mike Ward. Mike Ward's great grandfather started the whole freaking town.
Yeah.
Have we ever talked about that?
No, the idiot circle wouldn't exist without my ancestors. Let's just be honest about it.
Exactly. There'd be no idiots if it wasn't
All right,
for the Wards.
I'm going to Burger King right now and get you a crown, Mike.
That would be awesome.
The Wards are responsible for all idiots. That's how we could
exactly. They're all idiots. Yeah, and we're responsible for a long line of idiots, myself included. So, yeah, I don't have any other words.
No?
I really don't. No. Not that, I'm still, when you guys are talking about stuff now, it makes me think, I'm going like 6 different levels about shit you guys were talking about. I can't even focus on my own problems.
Right.
Hey, Fred, I just want to say, excellent job the last couple of weeks lining up some of these guests. So Lisa,
I appreciate that.
Lisa,
Lisa Wayburn is the salt of the earth.
I'm going to tell you right now, that was a great episode last week with Coach.
Yeah.
But I'm still so excited about the Lisa interview because I don't know, it's just, she's part of our history. I mean, she goes way back. She's Marine City through and through.
Yeah.
I agree.
I had a good time in that interview.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So hard.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, Rob, because
good segue, Rob.
I have breaking news about our little town, Marine City. It's official. Gord's is not closing. It has been bought and it's being reestablished as a bar. It's going to have a rooftop that you can go up.
Yeah.
And it's 6 people bought it and they're refurbishing it and bringing it back to its roots and
roots.
Well,
there you go. There you go.
You like that?
Yeah,
you like that? It's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna have some modern and it's gonna have some old style, but Gord's Bar is not closing or being demolished.
Still will be called Gord's?
Yeah, I would imagine.
I think so. I saw
it would be stupid if they changed the name, but
I think they posted on Facebook under that handle or that title, Gord's Bar. I think it's Gord still. Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I don't know anything more than what you just said, right, Fred? You didn't tell us about this breaking news. Right. If we could get the new owners to come on and just talk about, hey, how about, creating a new thing about an old part of our town and reestablishing, that would be awesome, man. That'd be cool.
I've already reached out to a couple of my contacts because there's 6 people. I believe that one of them is Corey Ames.
Yeah, I think one's Corey Ames. I think Mark Duval is actually one.
Oh, Jesus. I mean, we could bring any one of those guys would probably come on.
I don't know who the other 4, obviously, probably friends of
That's
theirs.
That's really cool, though. I love to hear that.
You know what? And I'll find out and I'll definitely get them. But, I just thought I'd break that news because I was, I'll tell you, that bar has been very nostalgic, part of our history. I mean, I got family videos from my grandparents' house, and you can actually see Gord's in the background, when we're in their backyard and, and
with
stuff
the
like
tiller.
that. Yeah. You got the boat piece there, and I hope they just refurbish that and make that Gord's Bar, kind of stand out again, because that's, to me, that end of town, other than the Riviera, which has done wonders as far as their place is concerned, without having that bar there, that end of town just kind of there's nothing.
Well, you got the new
you got the new
restaurant
hotel.
in the
You got the new hotel, but
that's
really,
more out of towners.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
and the thing is you start coming into town, you got Gorge, now you got the Riviera. I mean, now you're talking about where, I mean, obviously you could have a pretty decent pub crawl going to Marine City now.
I hope if they ever listen to this podcast, if they ever hear it, the one thing they need to do, which Gord's never did to update, is you can't just have cash. You really can't in today's.
Oh, they won't.
Oh, I'm sure yeah. I think
you got to have a POS system. You got to be able to take cards. I mean, that's the way it is now.
Yeah, they're going to have multiple TVs showing all different sports. They're going to have karaoke. They're going to have music playing with the actual videos of the bands. Like, so let's say.
Oh yeah, cool.
Let's say Gary Newman Cars comes on.
Yeah.
That video will be on.
Yeah.
Or if they play Looks at Kill, Motley Crue, that video will be on. But it won't be Tommy Lee.
What about
the drums,
Sharp Dressed Man?
Mike Ward.
Sharp Dressed Man.
Oh God.
They updated the bathrooms too, I read. Thank God.
Yeah. Those two bathrooms were like, I've been in outhouses in Porta Johns that were better than the original Gord's ones.
Well, for a long time, Gard's was just basically a hole in the floor that you peed in.
Yeah, I would say, that Gord's over the past, however many years gone downhill, but really hasn't. It's been the same since fucking 50s probably. They didn't change it one bit. So I don't think it never went downhill. It just kind of stayed like this. But I think
the times changed, but Gord's.
Well, I think what really hurt Gord's too is they had that stupid biker group that was renting the place right next to it, and I guess there was a huge fight that I believe.
No, it's still there. Hell's Our Home. That's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hell's Our Home still there.
Well, that's too bad.
Well, because Gord's had a lot more problems before Hell's Our Home went in there.
Oh, trust me, I know that. I know that. That's for sure. So,
that's
I thought I'd bring.
That's good breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the next few weeks coming up, we're going to have Chris Meldrum from the Meldrum Brothers on next week.
Wow.
Next week.
That's the group that we saw at the Battle of the Bands.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were really good.
The following week after that, we have Paul Shunk from Paul and Oates.
Yeah.
The following week after that, we have Eddie Stevens from Los Gringos.
No, get out.
Yeah.
No, get out.
The next week after that, we have Jamie McDowell from Alter Ego. And
look at Fred.
And then week 5, we have Craig Zimmerman coming on. And then
that's the voice of the Mariners.
Yep. Well, I'm the voice.
Well, you're the voice.
Let's get that right.
The radio voice of the Mariners.
The play.
Wait a minute, Fred. Before you get any further, I just want to step back. All right, so you have the guy who's the lead singer for the Los Gringos.
That's correct.
Listen, I got to tell you, I don't get, excited about local people. Coach was cool, but I'm going to tell you, when Mike and I went to that Winterfest in St. Clair, that little motherfucker is one hell of a showman, man. I'm telling you, he is fucking impressive.
Yep.
He can sing.
Hey, anybody that can get Mike to sing "Don't Stop Believing."
Sing Led Zeppelin. What did you say?
I said, anybody to get Mike to sing "Don't Stop Believing."
No, that didn't happen. Didn't happen. Rob was singing it like a 7-year-old schoolgirl. But
listen, I tell you what, I felt like I was him on stage that night. It was 6 degrees. The freaking we were making.
Robbie said he was going commando, but he actually threw his underwear up to Eddie.
Yeah. And he caught him.
Yeah, I can attest to that. That actually happened.
In his defense, they were thongs.
Oh God. Oh, nasty. Fucking butt floss.
Listen, Mike, tell me, that was butt ass cold that night.
Oh,
we were all huddled in that little tent. But did we not have a good time?
We did.
You know why we had a good time?
Because you were drinking.
You know what happened? This show came from that night.
It did.
This show came from. Well, he's
Yeah,
right.
remember
We talked
transfer
about the
portal?
transfer
Absolutely
portal.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
got in a
The transfer.
big argument for
Damn
45. Yeah,
I wish we could have recorded
the
that fucking
infamous
conversation.
CMU, the infamous CMU comment. Yes,
You guys
epic.
don't even know, listening, the three of you that are listening to the show, but it was so funny because we were all a little bit poo-pooed that night.
No, I wasn't.
And,
I was
you
not.
were.
I had
Okay,
one beer.
Yeah, that's true. You were. I
Yeah.
was a little poo-pooed. Fred was a little poo-pooed.
Yeah, you guys were toasty.
And we started out the conversation with, like, the transfer portal is going to spread the talent through the college football ranks.
Yeah, level the playing field.
Level the playing field.
Yeah.
And you and I said that was the case.
Yeah.
And I had to come to that after months and months of realization.
Yeah, a couple years, I think.
I didn't get it. Fred started out with, no, it's not good for college football. And after about 2 hours of bickering, war water, at the very end, Fred goes, yeah, but it's good for college football because it spreads the talent.
Levels the playing
I said
field.
I said it spread, but the thing is, I said it doesn't help schools like Central Michigan, Eastern and Western, or the smaller schools, because a lot of those kids that are good in the MAC end up leaving and going to another school, and that leaves that school in a lurch.
You mean
But the thing is,
you mean both of the players that are good in the MAC?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? The MAC is probably the most underrated football league in college football.
Yeah, rightly so.
Rightly so. Hey, Fred, you'll get a kick out of this. So we go. I meet with. Last night I had a client dinner, and today I met with a client. We're talking. He runs a business, a big, large rental business. We're talking. We're in a suburb of Birmingham, Alabama. And
USFL.
Yeah. Well, somehow the conversation gets to football. He played on that 1999-2000 Alabama football team. He was the long snapper in that game where they lost to Michigan in the triple overtime.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
his name is.
I'm sure he doesn't take the blame
Brad,
for the missed field goal.
his
extra
name
point,
is his name is Bradley Ledbetter. And so once I found that out, I just start talking to him about, I said, like, what was your most, not only he's got me really interested, right? Because, all three of us are sports fans, but like, rightfully so. Fred and I are probably a little more of sports. I mean, we get a little more geeked out about sports than you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, and Fred more than me even, but the two of us really. So then all I wanted to do was talk Alabama football. So I said to him, what was your best moment ever as an Alabama football player? He said that 1999 season when we went into the swamp, because remember, Gene Stallings was their coach. They weren't that great then. They were a subpar Alabama team.
Right.
They went in and they beat the Gators triple overtime, the same way they lost to Michigan.
Nice.
Triple overtime.
And that's with Tebow as quarterback too, right?
No, Tebow came later.
Was it Werfel?
It was Werfel.
Okay.
Yeah, because they still had Spurrier,
the ball coach.
Yeah. So think about that. And, and I'm thinking, I'm like, wow, what a great experience for someone to live through something like that. I mean, can you imagine that?
I mean, it's funny because like for me, I guess for me, some of the things I got to pitch at Michigan, and not only did I pitch against Michigan, I pitched against their Adre team that had Greg McMurtry, Jim Price's son Phil.
Yeah.
They had like 3 or 4 guys that ended up in the major leagues, and I pitched both games of a doubleheader. I won 2 games in one day. It was hotter than hell.
How in the hell you pitched 2 games of a doubleheader?
Well, because the first game we mercied them, and I only threw 60 pitches, and the game started almost immediately. And they went in the locker room because they had their baseball camp. The kids, and and they were down in the locker room. You could hear the coaches yelling, "You're losing to these hacks." Da 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 da. And the coach came up to me and goes, "How's your arm feel?" "Good." "You want to pitch?" "Yeah, you can start me, but I don't think I'm going to be able to finish." But I mean, I struck out Greg McMurtry, who just turned down a $350,000 signing bonus with the Boston Red Sox. Struck him out 7 times.
Wow.
Damn.
Do you know, Mike, who the quarterback was that team that beat Alabama when this guy was on the field? Don't say it, Fred.
What year was it?
1999.
Oh God, I don't remember.
Tom
Before
Brady.
it
Oh, Brady was?
started out Drew Henson,
Yep.
and Tom Brady took over, and
Yep.
that game made David Terrell a first-round pick and a bust for the Chicago Bears. But
Yeah.
that and Riesersma,
Oh, Jake
Remersma.
Riesersma.
Yeah.
Remersma.
Riesersma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's and not only him, but him and who was the other tight end?
Hmm.
Oh
Not
so it starts with a T.
OT.
Benny something.
Oh,
You know what I'm
Taboo or something like that.
Yeah.
Benny, yeah.
Benihana.
So I asked this guy, I said,
Ben and
I said,
Jerry's.
have you ever met Tom Brady in any capacity? He goes, he goes, absolutely. I've met Tom Brady many times. And I said, how would you, I mean, you met him on the field, right? After the game, he said, no, actually not. He said, we have the A club at Alabama. So if you play football for Alabama, you're automatically into the A club. So that means if you ever go back to Tuscaloosa for a game, they have a special suite in the stadium called the A club. You're always invited. You have all this stuff. They bring back teams that won major bowl games for the A club. He said, we do a lot of work in the A club with a lot of organizations. He said, I've done a lot of work for TB12. He said, I've met Tom Brady through TB12. So I said, what was that like? He said, I said to him, I actually said to the meeting, I said, before we got into this, I said, wow, you were on that team. He's like, yeah. And I said, well, does that seem like forever ago that you played in that bowl game? He goes, it seems like, it was 20 years ago. It seems like it was 50 years ago. Oh,
His hotel phone is ringing. People use the hotel phone. That's crazy.
So I said to him, I said, well, do you believe that seems forever ago to you and Tom Brady is still playing the NFL? And he goes, that is absolutely insane. He goes, I don't think I could get on the field and play a play or a down. And he said, I can't believe that his level, his dedication, what he's been able to do to get on a field at his age over and over. And my boss is with me. He goes, well, he never gets hit. And he said, that's not the point. He gets hit every game once or twice by guys that are 300 pounds. And he said the ability of him to get rid of the ball before he gets hit is why he's been able to be in the game for so long. It's just amazing. I don't know. I was entranced after I found out that, he played for Alabama.
Can you think of a more Alabama football name than Bradley Ledbetter? I mean,
his name's Bradley Ledbetter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you got a guy named like Bubba, Boozer or something like that.
Running back Major Ogilvy.
Major Ogilvy. There you go.
Yeah.
Bubba Watson is a good Southern name, right?
Yeah.
Where did Bubba go to school? Bubba went to Texas or something like that, didn't he, Fred? Bubba graduated from Georgia. I think he graduated.
Yeah, I think he's a Bulldog, man.
I think he's a Bulldog. Yeah. Yeah. So I said to him, I said, well, what's going to happen after Nick goes? The story at Bama is what's going to happen when Nick leaves the organization, when he's gone? He goes, I said, is it going to be Smart? Is it going to be Dabo? And he's friends with Dabo. And he said, He said, listen, I've talked to Dabo. He says, the running consensus among all of these ex-Nick Saban guys, nobody wants to foul Saban. They'll be the guy after the guy, but nobody wants to go first after Saban.
That's kind of like who wants to replace Walt Braun? Here.
Exactly. Right. Why do you want to replace him?
And who wants to replace Jim Vina? I mean, and in this town of Marysville, I mean,
Coach Ron did it.
Well, yeah, and the thing is they didn't leave and come back, so they stayed within the organization.
Oh yeah,
so,
it's different, right?
That's different. So,
yeah.
But like I said, seeing, you mentioned that guy. Can you imagine him? Every time that they put that game on, and he's the one that's snapping the ball back to the placeholder, and that kicker misses it.
Yeah.
I'm sure that runs through his mind every football
all the
season.
time. But if you watch it, and I'm sure because he said I was the long snapper, I wouldn't think he would say that. If we watch that, it must have been the kicker, not the snapper, or the holder. It might have been the holder.
It was a good snap. I can attest to that.
It was a good snap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He pushed it right, which was okay for me.
Okay for all of us. At the time, I was a big Michigan fan. Where were you watching that game, Fred?
I was watching it in my living room right across from Kevin's house, right here on St. Bernard.
Were you about 12, 15 bush lattes deep?
Well, I'm sure Nancy, myself, and Kevin, we were knee deep for sure.
Where were you, Michael?
I think I watched it with my dad at his house. I'm pretty sure.
I was in California, still living in California, watching that game with some buddies, and I couldn't believe it, man. I just couldn't believe it.
That was awesome.
Who was the running back for Alabama? He played for 3 teams in the NFL, right, Fred?
Yeah.
I remember his name.
Wasn't Ingram, was it?
No.
No, it was the other.
Oh God, what was his name?
Mac. No.
Yeah.
He played for like Seattle, and he played for someone else. McFadden.
McMillans or
no, McFarland.
McFadden was Arkansas, wasn't he?
Yeah, Darren. It was Mickens or something like that.
Meckens?
Something like that.
Something like that. I don't
Needless to say, we won.
Yeah, I know who would take over after Saban. It's Urban Meyer, of course. Of course.
Oh, poor Urban. That was a good show last week with Coach. I really was impressed with him. Fred, I kind of got the impression before. I'll be real transparent. What you were telling us before, you were trying to tame me down. You wanted to keep the show clean. You kind of wanted to stay in a box, but he really took everything and anything we threw at him, and he ran with it.
Yeah, he's that type of guy. I mean, like I said, Ron is a class act, and his wife's just a fantastic lady, and going over to their house after football games, for the coaches' parties and stuff like that. Really got to know Kathy a lot, and she was always in the box as well because she was always in charge of the 50-50.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, are you?" She'd always say, "Are you coming after the game?" I'm like, "Well, if we can, yeah, sure." And her kids, Gunnar and Gabby are twins.
Yeah.
And both kids are successful. Both were athletes at Marine City, and just a class guy. I mean, I'll never forget when Darren asked me to come back and coach for.
You're not going to get choked up again, are you, Fred?
No.
Fred.
No.
Oh yeah, Fred. We told you we needed to get.
I know. Just stop. Well, you know what, guys, if you went through what I went through back then,
I know, friend. I
and
know. I
and
listen.
that was it was just perfect timing, and
Listen.
I wasn't planning on doing that. It just happened. So
Well, that's why it was so good. Listen, that's what makes the show better. If anybody's out there really listening to this shit we put out every week, I can't believe we're on 16 episodes. But I mean, that's what makes it real, right? Because I think we don't hide stuff, right? We're very real about ourselves and our lives.
Sure.
And that was a real moment, right?
Yeah.
Everybody, I've gone through hard times. Mike's gone through hard times. You opened up in a moment that you had a hard time, and it was real for the show. And I mean, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think Coach Ron really understood what he did for you.
I know he does, and I think the one thing that that I remember is when Darren asked me to come back and coach at Marine City the year that they won the football state championship, and that was Brendan Kay's senior year. And I came back to help with some of the pitching staff, and I was trying to blend in with the coaching staff, and some of the kids weren't listening. And Ron said, "Hey, when this guy's talking, he demands your respect. I just want you to know that he is one of two people that I know that went to this school that played Division I baseball. You might want to listen to him." He goes, "Coach, go ahead." I mean,
Nice.
that, he demanded people's respect for other coaches as well as himself, and we'll give, and we would give the kids the respect too. And we had a great year that year, and we won the districts, and we lost in the regional final, but it was a good group of kids, definitely a good group of kids, good athletes. So,
Mike, what was your favorite part of that interview last week?
I think just the way he was describing, kind of the culture of the team, and how he gets kids on board, and how he straightens them out. It's like, like he said, it's kind of like a parent, but
Yeah,
you're a parent to whatever 40 kids or whatever there is on a football team. That's a whole nother level. We think about, our kids and how, tough times we've had sometimes with discipline. And can you imagine, multiply that by, 20
40 young males.
Yeah, exactly.
40 young males, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And it's just he's just a down-to-earth guy. That was cool. And he, like Fred said, he fielded every question that we had. And I think, I was talking to Fred after, I think it was, he's coming out with a book. I think being on our show, it was kind of low pressure. It's good. It was good practice for him too, because you never know what people are going to say. And
we're not the big leagues. We're just practice.
Yeah, we're fucking. We're not even.
Yeah, we're
instructional.
We're in the instructional league.
I think it was pretty cool to have him on for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously I was in it. For me to be, to have him on the show, I really wanted to be careful because, I out of the respect I have for him.
I know you wanted to protect him. I know.
I wanted him to do the robot dance so bad.
Oh my God. I tried to
it was so, like you said, on the football field, sometimes he thinks he has Tourette's, and I'll tell you now, Mike, you've been at football games and you heard him yell at the kids from.
Oh yeah.
You can hear him
from the top row.
Yeah, from the top row. So
yeah.
So, but I just wanted to be. I wanted that show to be kind of a little bit more. We stayed in the pocket, and the show turned out great.
We stayed in the pocket.
Oh yeah, no question.
We made it good, right?
Oh yeah, no question.
We didn't get crazy. We didn't talk about.
No, I think it was the best show that we've had.
No thongs, no balls.
No, none of that stuff. We kept it like we were.
I think it was the best show that we've done. as far as having a guest on.
Well,
I mean, as
I
much
think
as,
it's
I
the
mean,
most highest profile
yes,
person we've had.
but obviously the most fun. I mean, we could do anything with Lisa on here and talk
Yeah.
about anything, but him, you got to be a little bit careful, because especially if you ever want him to come back. But, like, I think
Fred, please be real. Anybody that does this show is not going to want to come back.
Yeah, they will.
Oh,
I
yeah.
disagree.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Well,
I would say
well, I can already tell you Jeff Hall wants back on.
Oh.
And I know Lisa would come back on. Ron will probably come back on when the book comes out. Not to mention
What's
the fact
wrong with these people?
it's all good. Now the nice thing is because getting into we've been into the sports thing. Now we're going to get into the music thing coming here the next few weeks. To help promote some of these local bands and stuff like that, and talk about their musical influences and things of that sort.
Listen, guys.
At the end though, having Craig Zimmerman talking about about Mariner memories and his things he remembers of doing play by play. But I also have Brady Beaton from Stuck on Sports that wants to come on, and he's the guy that
Fred, talk about that.
WPHM used to play one local radio football game. Typically, it would be Poirier High, Poirier Northern, Marysville, Marine City, Marine City, St. Clair, whatever.
A feature game of the week.
Feature game. Well, now that you can stream games, now they Dennis Stuckey and Brady Beaton started Stuck on Sports, and what they do is they go out and they hit all local sports, not just football, but they do basketball games, they do softball games, they do baseball games, and they go to all these different areas and do that. So cool. It gives a chance for kids to be able to be recognized, or give people who can't come out and watch the games actually, hear the game on the radio or it's streamed. He excuse me, he usually sits right next to me in the press box doing games.
Oh yeah.
And he's he went to Marysville. He played football at Wayne State. His dad is the salt of the earth, Roger Beaton. He's a teacher at St. Clair, but he played baseball at Marysville, and he played Division I hockey at Ohio State.
Wow.
Yeah. So Brady comes.
We want to talk to him, his dad, eventually about Guzzo.
Yeah, we'll probably do that too.
Yeah.
And and the nice thing too is the mom is I believe is a Mullins, I believe. And
is it Mullet? What did you
Mullins,
say?
which is
Mullins.
which is the two brothers. I think I could be wrong. I think that if she's a Mullins, and that the two brothers were heavy football players at Poirier High, and was the head coach at Poirier High up till I think of this past year. So I could be wrong. So I apologize if I'm wrong on that. But
anybody that knows, comment if Fred's wrong. We love to hear when we're wrong about shit. Nobody comments.
I've made so many wrong statements. Has anybody called me out on my shit?
No, not once.
No? Not once?
They don't even know you're wrong. It's crazy.
Yeah. They don't even know me. That's the problem.
I'm sure they know you. They figured you out. You're pretty transparent.
Hey, Mike, let me ask you something, really. I mean, you know me, now I'm detached. I live in Florida. I'm curious about all this. Could three idiots from Marine City really unite like the Thumb or the St. Clair County? Could we storm Elginak? Could we have like the guy from the Meldrum brothers coming on next week? That excites me, because does he know we're trying to storm the Elginak market, Frank?
He has been made aware of that, yes.
Yeah,
he has.
He's probably gonna help us. I mean, he definitely can't hurt us.
Yeah, I will tell you, Chris Meldrum.
We can hurt him.
Chris Meldrum and I go way back. We played rec ball together, basketball. He's a teacher. He's a teacher at Memphis. And the love of the music. I mean, his whole family. I mean, they're like, to me, they're like the local Osmonds. I mean, the Meldrums, every one of them, they're kind of like
Osmonds or Osborns.
No, not Osborne. But they what they do is they remind me of the Wards. When the Wards get together, they pull out the guitars and everybody, the girls sing, the guys are singing, playing. They do the same thing, and they're a musical family. very musical. Matter of fact, the dad is like the guy that really kind of kicked it off, and they got cousins and brothers that are playing separately. They play together. They matter of fact, they've had parties, and they and they invite friends over, and they just set up and they play, and they just have a riot. So we're gonna have some real fun with him. Paul will be really good to talk to. Eddie,
looking forward to
obviously.
that one. Looking forward
Yeah.
to having Paul on.
Yeah, and then obviously Eddie Stevens will be a good
I'm
one
looking
too.
forward to Eddie.
Yeah, and
Eddie,
like-
here's my take, Fred, just before you go on. I think the Meldrum brothers, when we went to the Battle of the Bands, I see them as the Leonard Skinner of St. Clair County. That's how I vision them. They're like good old Southern rock. You
Yeah.
get in their music, it's deep, it's heavy, it's got that good, like it's
what I like
earthy.
about them, Rob, to be honest with you, if you see all the bands that we saw, including Los Gringos and them, the one thing is they all play songs that you would never think a cover band would play.
Absolutely, that's what I like
And
about
Meldrum,
them. Yeah.
the Meldrum brothers are a perfect example that they play.
But what I like about Eddie, I think Eddie is the David Lee Roth of
He
St.
is
Clair County.
totally.
Oh, there's
He
no
is
question about that.
I mean, he is the
I remember
greatest
seeing him.
showman I've seen in a cover band.
Well,
I hate to say,
You should have seen him in the heyday when he was playing up. He was playing up at where Tio Gordo's is. It used to be to be called the Gallery.
Oh yeah.
And the night that Dale Volker and I went up there to watch him play, and he was phenomenal. They had a skinny kid playing DJ and playing music in between, and cocky kid just happened to be a guy by the name of Bob Ritchie,
Really?
AKA
Kid Rock.
What?
Kid Rock.
Yeah.
No way.
Yes way.
No way.
He's from Romeo, dude.
So when we talk to Eddie, we can let's not talk about that anymore, because let's save that for the show. But Eddie, I mean, I gotta imagine that Eddie got a lot of ass around St. Clair County. I mean,
well, yeah, he's probably gotten more than a toilet seat, I'm sure.
But
But the funny thing was my parents were getting a new pool put in at our house, and it was like 3 weeks after Dale and I went up there, and all of a sudden these guys the guys start walking in, and there's Eddie. I'm like, dude, you play up at the Gallery a couple weeks ago. Yeah, he goes, I'm Eddie. I'm like, hey, I'm Fred. Like I was up there with Dale. Like, hey, Dale? And he and I shot the shit the whole time, and we still talk about that. He and I've been to concerts with Jeff Bohm and Paul Shunk and all those. We all went down with John Jansen from the Gobies, all that stuff too.
You know what I liked about him, Mike, is he's full of himself just enough to be a great showman, but he's not full of himself where he's very
get away from me.
People, he jokes on stage. He gets the crowd involved.
Oh, yeah, he's got the swagger, and he's got the voice to back it up. He's probably in the area. He's the best singer. He's the best singer I've ever seen.
Maybe we've coined this wrong, because listen, I'm a big David Lee Roth fan. David Lee Roth.
He doesn't have a good voice, though.
Yeah, I mean, he was more. I talk, make cool talk in a song. I'm a showman. I could do a lot of really cool screams, but he wasn't apparatically a great singer. Yeah. But Eddie is probably a better singer than David Lee Roth.
Oh, no question.
Just as much of a showman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was. I've never seen him up until we saw him in St. Clair, and yeah, the band was great too. But he's just like head and shoulders above everybody.
I think the three best singers in the area, Eddie Stevens is one. Two is Jamie McDowell from Alter Ego.
Yeah, he's really good.
And
too.
Paul Shunk.
Yeah.
I want to see.
You can't put anything past the Gobies, with John Jansen either. Yeah. But as far as harmonizing, Paul and Oates.
Oh yeah,
is phenomenal.
Yeah. I haven't seen Paul and Oates. I saw Paul that
Yes,
one night.
No, you saw Paul and Oates. They were at the
Yeah,
Battle
at
of the
the
Bands.
Battle of the Bands, the other side from
Oh,
the
that's
Meldrum Brothers.
but there was only one, right? They weren't the full Paul and Oates. Didn't
No,
you
it's
say
No, there's
full.
only three guys.
There's only 3 guys.
Keith
Yeah,
and
but I
Kevin
thought
and Paul.
it was just Paul and the other guitarist.
No.
It was all 3 of them.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
All 3 of them.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, musician wise, as far as players, those 3 are hands down the best players. If you took, play it, musicianship, they're head and shoulders above everybody. They honestly are. Paul and Oates.
The guitar player from Los Gringos is phenomenal, and so is Jamie McDowell from Alter Ego. He's actually from Canada originally, and he had a band, and he did a cover of Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
on YouTube. Dude,
Yeah, I've seen it. It's
Awesome.
good. Really
unbelievable.
good. Yeah.
And he used
imagine,
he used to be with Ian Smith. You remember, Mike, you and I went up to
Yeah.
see him at the office there. And they played Poco and all that stuff, and they harmonized real well with Ian too. So there's a lot of guys that are unsung, that have chops around here, man. There's no question.
Oh yeah.
Well, and Mike and I saw him, at St. Clair Winterfest. It's cold as hell. It's not the greatest environment. I can only imagine how good they are in, like a nice summer venue where they can really get into it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey guys, I thought that was a good one. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's about time to wrap it up.
Yeah. Hey,
I
so
don't think we got anything else, do we? You got
Yeah.
any more breaking news, Freddie?
other than like I said, I'm going to keep trying on bringing people on. I know we like to do shows, just the 3 of us to it. We'll probably can mix those in as well. But like I mentioned, we're going to have Chris Meldrum on next week. We'll have Paul Shunk on the following week. We will have Eddie Stevens following that. Then we're going to have probably Jamie McDowell from Alter Ego. Then we're going to probably get away from that a little bit and go to Craig Zimmerman. And then we'll have either Brady Beaton. I'm still working on John Jansen from the Gobies to come on. And I'm also working on some bigger options as well. I'll just leave it at
Hey,
that.
Fred, maybe if Mike agrees with it so that we're all in agreement, featuring some of the small businesses around St. Clair County, starting out with Marine City, maybe some people too, like, owners of the Sweet Tooth or Gars or, some of these business owners too. Love to talk to them about, because Marine City has really made they've done a great job. Love to talk about how they were able to create businesses in sometimes tough markets. So,
Sure.
would love it. What do you think, Mike? Even having Tammy on.
Oh, she wouldn't come on this show. Come on. Nah, she wouldn't be on. Nah, she wouldn't.
She would never. Are you saying your wife, to support
Nope.
you, would not come on this show for any reason ever?
I don't know. I'm just busting your chops. She probably would. If I asked her nicely, maybe.
Oh God.
All right, guys.
I don't want Mike to be crawling on his hands and knees. Please just be on the show one time. She's gonna say, hell no.
Nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, right.
That's for sure. Myself included.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Good episode. Remember, we have to say this at the beginning, at the end. Remember to like this episode or dislike it if you want. We're not these YouTube whores that, say only like it. If you dislike it, if you disagree with everything Rob says, which is probably the case, but nobody calls him out on it, comment. Really? Give us a comment.
What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you got to step up your game and really challenge them, Rob. I don't know. But any comments, any suggestions, like, dislike, give us the finger, the middle finger emoji.
Whether you love us or
subscribe,
hate us.
subscribe,
like, notification, turn that on, so you can see our ugly faces once a week. Once in a while we have some people on that really raise the the beautification level like Lisa a couple weeks ago, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could use that with these fucking idiots that we have on this show. But anywho, good show, guys.
Good show, guys.
Great talking to you. Travel safe back home, Rob.
Thanks, man. I'll go home tomorrow.
All right.
You too, Mike.
Oh yeah, I'm coming home Saturday. So
Where are you, Mike?
San Antone.
Oh, I've had some good barbecue here in Alabama.
Have you?
Yeah,
Was it moist?
it was
fuck.
moist,
Do
juicy,
they-
moist, wet and moist.
Do they have the white barbecue sauce down there? Is that where it's
No.
at? I gotta
No.
find out where the fucking white barbecue sauce is.
I've
they
seen
make
that
with
before, and I
mayo.
can't remember, but we went to a place today. There's a couple of them in Birmingham called Full Moon. And let me tell you, now I didn't get the brisket. My buddy got the brisket. He said the brisket was okay. He also had the pulled pork, which was great. I had the quarter chicken and ribs.
Good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you wipe your chin, man. You're salivating.
Yeah, you're
Holy
drooling like
shit.
Pavlov's dogs. That phone's
That
gonna
good,
ring
huh?
again.
Well,
That phone's
you
gonna
know,
ring again.
Mike-
You're gonna start
Mike and
drooling out
I-
of your mouth.
If you don't know this already, Mike and I are huge foodies. So we love everything from kimchi. You could fry up, I'd eat sea urchin. I eat sea urchin sushi style. Mike and I eat everything. We're foodies. Like, we love good food. So,
Yeah, I don't go
We're
that
always
far.
looking for
Fucking
a
sea
good-
urchin, nasty shit. But
well,
I
hey,
eat all the stuff that's bad for you.
and a shameless plug, Mike, you and I need to talk about sometime the Breakfast Club. They're a chain of restaurants, breakfast restaurants around Michigan.
Yes.
And they're absolutely good. And what's the other place we went to last?
The jagged.
It was called
Fork.
The End of the Show.
Yeah, it's called the end of the
Fork.
Jagged Fork in Grosse Pointe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good
Yeah.
too. Yeah, it is
Right.
called the end of the show. Nice job, Fred.
Cheers.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Peace, everyone.
Go Lightning!
Oh, God.